know how I could have done it without Medishare.
It's so worth looking into. There's a reason this is growing so fast. So if you want to find out more, here is a number for you. 855-90-PSALM. That's 855-90-PSALM.
The December jobs report went way beyond expectations. John Clemens reports.
312,000 new jobs were created last month as the economy had a strong finish for the year. Eleni Karageorge is with the Department of Labor.
Total non-farm payroll employment increased by 312,000 in December, and the unemployment rate rose to 3.9%. Job gains occurred in healthcare, food services and drinking places, construction, trade.
I'm John Clemens.
In Torrance, California, deadly violence at a bowling alley. KNX news anchor Mark Austin Thomas.
The Torrance Police Department says 3 people have been shot and killed at a bowling alley. It's called Gable House Bowl on Hawthorne Boulevard. 4 additional people are injured. Its website describes the facility as a gaming venue with bowling, a full arcade, and laser tag. Torrance police want people to stay away from that area while they investigate.
This is USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290.
USA's Chris Barnes has the chilling details of a new study on ice cubes.
Would you like that on the rocks? Because researchers say you may want to hold off on that. A food safety specialist at North Carolina State University says bacteria and viruses from E. coli to Salmonella can live in freezing temperatures, meaning they could be alive and living in your ice cubes. Experts say people can avoid contaminated ice and prevent the bacteria from spreading by using purified water, also by washing your hands, using ice scoops when serving the ice, and regularly cleaning your freezer. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
A Republican senator that's known for his bipartisanship is planning to retire. Here's more from USA Radio's Rick Vincent.
Republican Senator Pat Roberts of Kansas says he will not election in 2020 and instead will retire after this term. The 82-year-old Roberts said he's proud of how he handled his many chairmanships during his tenure.
I have held 6 gavels in the Congress for the people of Kansas and our nation, and that in of itself might be a record. But it's what happened during my tenures as chairman that I believe will have lasting impacts. It's not just having a gavel, it's what you do with the gavel.
Roberts began his Capitol Hill career as an aide back in 1967.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 9 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield. Another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
And a good Saturday morning. Welcome, one and all. If you're listening to us through BizTalk Radio streaming, welcome. Here in San Diego, live on AM 1240. And if you're watching us on Facebook, you can see Tiger right next to me. He's typing away in my keyboard. He's setting things up so people on Facebook can actually see various things, titles, and keywords, so that when people come across those keywords, they can watch us on Facebook Live.
And the only people that would know that are the people who are already on Facebook Live.
That's exactly right.
Hey, Happy New Year.
You're excited about this year. This is like the fourth time you said Happy New Year to us.
It's going to be a great gardening year. You know, the weather in San Diego has been phenomenal. It's for rain.
Phenomenally cold, too, the past couple of days.
It's colder than it has normally been.
Cold for San Diego.
But the amount of rain that we've gotten has been perfect.
Yeah, we've had...
And it's been spaced apart.
Yeah.
It hasn't... we haven't had a deluge, so water's sinking into the ground.
No wonder you're so happy.
Plants are loving it.
You're just happy as a... Let's see. What is it? Happy as a clam. And how do we know clam... How do we know
clams are happy?
I'm really happy, yeah.
They got those smiles on
That's
their
true.
faces. That's
Yeah.
where it comes from.
Okay.
So it's great weather for digging up roses, too, because the soils are so... You should come
Look
over.
at him. He look all excited.
Why don't you come help me dig up some roses?
Did you take an energy drink this morning?
I did have my coffee.
You're
but
just fired up is what you are.
fired up.
Fired up. He's all fired up, folks.
It's going to be a good year.
And remember,
Good year
we've got
overall.
a little better camera angle on you now, too, on Facebook. So there's
Showing
more
your
of a
whole
direct
face.
shot. You can't hide anymore. John likes to hide during the breaks. Can't hide,
I like
John.
to go to my corner and just
What are you,
meditate.
What are you, a boxer? Anyway, we are here for the next 2 hours. Going to be a great show, as John mentioned. We've got Tom Spellman lined up from Dave Wilson Nursery. Tom always evokes a lot of questions.
Well, you know, Tom is probably one of the leading fruit tree experts, not only in California, but in the whole country. So if you have any questions about fruits, let us know. He's an expert on citrus. If you get our newsletter, there's an article that he wrote on citrus, which I think gives you a good overview of the different types of citrus and things you might want to consider for planting this spring. You know, now's not only the time to be doing specific tasks during the winter, but think about what you're going to put in the spring. And it's probably, say that citrus season in California probably begins pretty heavily around mid-February. Is that right, Tiger?
Say mid-February, late, or early March.
Yeah.
For some people, it's definitely early March, but mid-February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if citrus inventory is still a problem.
It's horrible.
Is it?
It's
hard to get hold of them.
And that's one thing with citrus is that, people need to be on top of it, and they need to do their best to try to reach out and see what's available, because there's always things going on and off availabilities. And if they really want that unique, hard to find stuff, they're going to have to get it when they can, because it's not always there. They sell out. And right now in California, with all of the rules and regulation when it comes to citrus on how they can grow them, quarantines, how they have to treat them, it's difficult for citrus growers. So, definitely if you're looking for that unique citrus tree, if you find it, buy it.
Yeah, usually there's the EPA, if you have a state EPA like California does, there's usually regulations that cover the state as far as shipping plants in and out of the state. But with citrus, there's actually regulations between counties.
Counties, yeah.
So a lot of the citrus, there are several citrus growers up in Northern California that can't ship down here anymore. Is that still true?
That's exactly the problem. I mean, San Diego County, we pretty much have two citrus growers, Laverne and Durlings. Those are our primary two. Every once in a while, we might be able to get something outside of that, but then it's gone through like a middle person. Where up north, they've got four winds, right? 4 seasons? 4 winds.
4 winds.
4 winds. 4 seasons is where you stay.
They sell during all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And they have another series of them, and they have really cool varieties up there, but you can't get them here. It's very challenging.
I think Vista, Clausen's nursery used to be in Vista. I think I passed them on the way to work. Are they still there?
We haven't seen anything from Clausen's in a long time, so I don't think so. But I could be wrong. Yeah.
So
there's a citrus nursery I pass on the way to work every day, and I'm not sure if that's them or not, but I know they're in that area.
So forget that
Or
fruit
used to be.
inspection between here and Arizona. We can't even get fruits throughout the entire state ourselves.
Yeah.
Wow, they're just really clamping down. I know what they're afraid of, and I know what their reasonings are, but it's like when you go to another country, like Hawaii, for example. Before you land, they pass out those little sheets of paper to fill out. What are you bringing in? What do you have? Where have you been? All those things.
Yeah.
And I know you know this, but Hawaii's really not another country. It happens to be our 50th state.
What? Wait, what? When did this happen? Wait a second. Stop pulling my leg.
1959, as I recall.
1960 was or 58 was Alaska, right? And then 1959 for Hawaii.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you remember the 59ers?
49ers.
I know the 49ers.
It was but when Alaska became a state, there was a group of people called the 59ers that put together a caravan and migrated to Alaska. And people were joining that caravan because back then there were no highways. It was like little 2-lane dirt roads.
Let's populate Alaska.
To Alaska, yeah.
North to Alaska, Johnny
59ers.
Horton. Great song.
You can look it up, Brian.
I will look it up. I'll play some Johnny Horton for you as well later on, North to Alaska.
You know what? I remember to talk to you about Johnny Horton during the break.
Okay. Somebody else's hand that you held?
No. Okay. I was surprised when I was in Alaska that they had a cut flower production farm.
Outside?
Outside, and they grew peonies.
Oh, yeah.
Huge amounts of peonies. And you wouldn't, and this was outside Fairbanks.
Yeah, they use.
They
really effective.
Pretty much were
pretty effective,
frozen and covered during the winters. So I was just surprised that that was up there. I didn't realize that at the time. And then here in San Diego, we wish we could grow peonies, and we can't. Though there are a couple roses. One rose is even referred to as the peony rose, and that's Reichspräsident von Hindenburg, because it looks like a big old fat peony when it opens. And then Yves Piaget, which is a more modern rose, one of the Romanica roses from Mayenne in France, looks like a big fat peony.
You big fat peony.
I like how he says big fat.
I'm going to start calling people that next week.
You're a big fat peony.
Nothing but a big fat peony.
So instead of a pansy, you're a peony.
Yeah, what are you, a peony?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Hey, thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. Questions already coming in, which we can probably answer. Waiting for Tom Spellman, AM 1240 here in San Diego, live, and of course, streaming around the world and across the country on Biz Talk Radio.
You want me to do the quote of the day while I have it here, since I'm still without my computer?
Well, I think Tiger and I would love nothing better.
Yeah.
Oh, I can think of a few things you would love better, but this is right up there. I know that.
Okay.
And I picked this quote because it's New Year's, right? Everybody's making New Year's resolutions. And this quote says, "Your success and happiness lies in you. Resolve to keep happy, and your joy and you shall form an invincible host against difficulties." And that was from Helen Keller.
Talking about overcoming something, huh?
Yeah, she had a lot to deal with, didn't she?
Yeah. So that
it is New Year's.
It's kind of an inspirational quote.
New Year, I should say. It's not New Year's, New Year.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, plural. No, it's New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year's.
I've killed Helen Keller 5 times.
What's that?
I've killed Helen Keller 5 times.
What is this, some game on your phone?
Yeah. What is
yeah.
No, there's a rose called Helen Keller.
Oh.
I was put out by the Barneys from Italy.
Okay, so what's the description of the Helen Keller rose?
It's pink, fragrant.
Okay.
And it's, I guess, important it would be fragrant, right? Since that was one of the senses she still had.
Sure.
And it's a relatively new rose. I think was put out after she died.
You know, I came across a picture on the internet, obviously taken a long time ago. So, well, the picture's real. It's a picture of Charlie Chaplin with Helen Keller, and she's touching his face.
Oh.
You know, trying to figure out what he looks like. It's a great picture. I'll bring it up.
I've read a few things by her, and she's an inspirational person.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
you saw the movie. Obviously, we all saw the movie, The Miracle Worker, right?
Yeah.
Anne Bancroft and Patty Duke.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Very good movie. 16 minutes after the hour break coming up. I will check during the break to see if Tom Spellman is with us.
Okay, and then did you say we had some questions that we can
Got a
take?
couple of
we got a
Facebook
lot of
questions.
comments going on Facebook. We'll get to the
We'll get to those. do stay with us. I'm Bryan Main. He's John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Welcome to Facebook Live. Questions, comments, keep them coming. Got to get a hold of Tom Spellman. Dave Wilson Nursery. He always evokes a lot of questions, so be ready for that. 855-424-9825. If you want to pick up the phone, call us. John doesn't have his computer, but you've got your phone, right, John?
I do.
Okay, so that's John at GardenAmerica.com as we step aside. First break coming up right now. Stay with us.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for the results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Want a better looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this phone call right now to get started.
Call the CPAP hotline now. 800-525-8891. 800-525-8891. That's 800-525-8891. Copays and deductible. Supplies are replaced in accordance with Medicare guidelines.
Hugs at the arrival gate.
I missed you so much.
Seeing your best bud for the first time in a long time. Family and friends around the table. At Lincoln, we know the holidays are filled with moments like these, when we realize that the greatest wish of all is one that brings us together. In that spirit, we invite you into our home during the Lincoln Wish List event, where not coincidentally, we're making wishes come true with exceptional offers on the Lincoln family of luxury vehicles. The Lincoln Continental, EMKZ, EMKC, the new Nautilus, and the iconic Navigator. The Lincoln Wish List event, because wishes really do come true at your Lincoln dealer.
I can't get my computer to work.
Let me help you with that.
How do I do that? I just got techie with Geeks on Site.
Our geeks literally come on site. No need to stop what you're doing or block off time. We come to your home, office, or wherever you are. And we don't just fix whatever computer issues you might be having. We explain and teach you along the way so you can feel empowered and then help others at home or in your office. Better yet, don't have time for tech support to come to you? Let us remote into your desktop or laptop, and one of our geeks will instantly walk you through. Call 1-800-584-9039 and we will help you instantly. We offer affordable prices on our remote services and IT support. You and those in your office will never have to wait hours to have your technical questions answered. Get your free computer diagnosis. Very own geek. Call 1-800-584-9039. That's 1-800-584-9039. And get started now.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Yes, indeed, we are back and ready to go. Excited about this Saturday show. It is 21 minutes after the hour. 2 or 3 ways to get a hold of us by phone, 855-424-9825. Also, John at gardenamerica.com. The best way, right there on Facebook Live with questions and comments. Now, Diane, kind of a basic generic question says, what should I be doing this month in my garden? To which I replied, where do you live, Diane?
Yeah.
That's going to matter.
Yeah, it definitely matters, because if you're in Minnesota, you're probably just sitting still.
Don't do anything. Just keep the fire going.
Yes, yeah. Let us know where you live, and even if it's up and down the state of California, wherever. And did we have anything else on there you can see?
I would say that one of the things you have to watch out for if you are in California is frost-tender plants, making sure that they don't freeze. And if the weather is going to get really cold. I heard on another radio show on the way in, they were mentioning something we always used to mention, which was stringing Christmas tree lights in your tree or plants and then putting a cover over them. And the thought came to me because I had to buy new Christmas
I know
tree
what you're going to say.
Year.
LED lights.
Yeah, don't use LED lights.
Because they're not warm.
They're not.
Yeah.
So
the old-fashioned lights, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got the older ones, that's going to work.
But I knew where you were going with that, because LEDs, no heat. So, but I guess a light blanket's okay, right?
Like a sheet.
Sheet?
Yeah. Don't use plastic.
No.
If you cover plants with plastic, it's actually worse than if they're not covered, because wherever the plastic is touching the plant, that area is actually going to be colder than the outside. The cold transfers right through the plastic. Mm-hmm. But like you said, cloth, sheets, things like that, frost fabrics, blankets, frost blankets, you can usually buy on a roll.
Yep.
And just
comes
put
in like
those
a
out.
white cloth-like looking material.
Yeah.
Okay, get those questions ready. Let's bring on Tom Spellman, Tiger. He's ready to go.
All right. Well, we have already started with a bank of questions here that people have been wanting to ask Tom, but welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey, good morning, guys, and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, right back at you. You bring a lot of energy to the show, so we're anxious to have you.
Tom, we mentioned...
Well, I'm more than happy to be here.
Thank you.
We mentioned...
I loved your comment a minute ago about, where you're located. I mean, that certainly makes all the difference in the world. If you're in San Diego or Phoenix, Arizona, or Boise, Idaho, you've got 3 completely different climates to deal with as far as what you're going to do in your garden.
Definitely.
I heard that it just they had a freeze in Tucson, I think it was, which is kind of
4 inches of snow.
4 inches of snow. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something. And Tom, I wanted to mention to our listeners, a lot of times we'll talk to you about deciduous fruit trees, and I wanted to make sure our listeners know that you're an expert in everything fruit. Not only deciduous trees, but citrus. You, I believe, are still a member of the California Rare Fruit Growers, and so subtropicals and tropical fruits. So I'm always amazed at the amount of information you have in that area.
Well, my history, John. I've made my way around the industry, with subtropical propagation and sales. Citrus, avocados,
right,
mangoes, papayas, all that. And when with my landing at Dave Wilson Nursery 17 years ago, which I can't believe it's been that long, kind of switched gears into focusing more on deciduous. But I'm still very heavily involved in all the subtropicals.
I don't know if you have any information in this area, but I'm moving to a new piece of property, 3.5 acres, and I'm thinking of putting in 1 acre of coffee. And so I'm still researching that and working with the people that are kind of innovating this new crop for California, and crossing my fingers and hoping it's going to work out.
Did you have a question for Tom?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this might be a longer conversation to break down. You might need to buy Tom a dinner.
John,
yes.
I think that's it's a very marketable crop right now. I think the Southern California coffee market is just at sunrise. We're just starting to see people making accomplishments and looking at where to land with varieties, and I think there's a lot of potential there.
Well, John, you're going to have a new ground floor, so it's perfect.
Yeah,
and I'm also glad to hear Tom say that, because that adds a little bit of credence to what I'm trying to do. When I first heard about it, and Tom, you even as with all you know, if somebody would told you 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I'm thinking of planting coffee, wouldn't you have thought they were crazy?
15 years ago, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much 10 years ago,
Okay.
and certainly not 5 years ago.
Right, yeah. I think about 5 years ago was when the first big crops started. I mean, big is all relative, but they first started getting good production from the plantations that had been put in.
So I guess what this leads to is the fact you are building a home, so you will be getting in on the ground floor when it comes to coffee.
Right.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I expect a really good cup the next time I see you.
I think that Brian's trying to make a coffee grounds reference.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
something
about?
like that.
Trying to be funny.
Anyway, we're here to talk about other things, though, right, Tiger?
Yeah. So, Tom, with your background in your history, we wanted to bring you on today because right now people ask what could they be doing this month. One of the things is winter fruit tree care. So you have the existing fruit trees, your stone fruit trees, you have grapes, you have some berries. So what are things that people need to be considering doing at this moment in time for those particular plants?
Well, it's that exactly, Tiger. It's winter fruit tree maintenance. So, what we're looking at now with the deciduous trees is detailed pruning for wintertime. If you've effectively kept your tree size managed through the summer, right now you're looking for issues. You're looking for dead wood, diseased wood, broken branches, crisscrossing branches, areas where the growth is too thick, and you're going to do your detail work. And the nice thing about deciduous trees is as they drop their foliage in the wintertime, you can see the whole skeletal structure of that tree. Mm-hmm. So where you couldn't do this in September, you can easily do it this time of year where you can see everything and how the tree branches and where it's too thick and, where you need to make those corrective cuts.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing to do. We want to make sure we get them cleaned up, get everything out. Get your after that, get your hose and a high pressure nozzle and just clean them. Give them a really good shower. Get all that, dust and dirt and old leaves and spider webs and everything blasted out of that tree.
Now let me get into that a little bit more. Now, are you talking just a hose with a high pressure nozzle, or would you, maybe for a power washer,
absolutely.
Or no, that's too much?
I don't know if I'd go with a 200-pound pressure power washer, but definitely your garden hose and a high pressure nozzle should give you enough pressure to do it effectively. You don't want to blast the bark off the tree.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I was thinking, no bark. Hey, good job. Nicely done.
Brand new skin on this tree.
Oh, it's clean. Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Then we start looking at issues like if you've had disease problems, spring bacterial issues, peach leaf curl, powdery mildew.
Hey, Tom.
You want to get a dormant spray on.
Let's stop you right there. We're going to go into our first commercial break, and when we get back, we'll pick right up, and we got a question coming from Rick on that exact topic.
Nicely done, Tiger. Rick, we're going to get your question. For the rest of you, Facebook Live, that's right, or 855-424-9825. We're coming right back.
Stop into Lowe's for everything you need to get your home organized for the new year. Right now, you can save on storage solutions for the whole home with up to 25% off select storage and organization products. If you're looking to maximize your space, save big with the Etzel 5-tier steel freestanding shelving unit, now only $69.98. It's versatile enough to be used in the garage or the kitchen. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 1/9/2019 while supplies last. U.S. only.
Americans are going crazy for a new Italian diet pill that burns 3 times more fat than dieting alone. And the next 100 callers get 3 bottles for free. Sold under the brand name Invigorate 3X. This powerful pill triggers metabolic acceleration, a process that's deficient in most Americans, making weight loss a hassle. But a new study shows 30 pounds gone in 90 days with just 2 capsules a day. Julie B. of Nashville says, I was skeptical, but when I saw a famous doctor made it, I decided to try it. I was shocked. I lost 16 pounds in 6 weeks. For a limited time, our listeners get 3 free bottles with a qualifying order. Call 1-800-932-1789 now to get started. Call in the next 10 minutes and also get a free bottle of the doctor's Ultra Detox. And don't forget your free 14-day diet fix. No obligation and 100% free when you call right now. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789.
Hi, I'm Joe Clark, host of Consider This, found right here Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock. Join us as we break down the financial world, things that truly matter to you, things that you should consider. You can find out more at our website at yourlifeafterwork.com, but join us Sunday morning, grab a cup of coffee, and let's break down the 5 critical elements, the things that can really change your financial life. Numbers 800-928-4001, yourlifeafterwork.com. We'll see you Sunday morning.
Head ball coach Steve Spurrier here, and I know just how stressful it can be when time is tight and you need points on the board. Well, just like my fun and gun offense, AmeriFactors is a fast-moving game winner when it's 4th down and your business can't afford a funding fumble. Providing up to 98% of receivables in as little as 24 hours, your business can get the cash flow it needs to make payroll, hire new talent, or purchase equipment faster than ever. Best of all, funds come directly from your unpaid invoices, so there's absolutely nothing to pay back. And if your clients don't pay, AmeriFactors is your defensive line taking the hit. With over 29 years of successfully funding businesses, you know AmeriFactors is a name you can trust to score big and score fast.
800-890-6380. 800-890-6380. 800-890-6380. That's 800-890-6380.
Hugs at the arrival gate.
Hey, I missed you so much.
Seeing your best bud for the first time in a long time. Family and friends around the table. At Lincoln, we know the holidays are filled with moments like these, when we realize that the greatest wish of all is one that brings us together. In that spirit, we invite you into our home during the Lincoln Wishlist event. Where not coincidentally, we're making wishes come true with exceptional offers on the Lincoln family of luxury vehicles. The Lincoln Continental, the MKZ, the MKC, the new Nautilus, and the iconic Navigator. The Lincoln Wishlist event. Because wishes really do come true at your Lincoln dealer.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we do thank you for sitting through the break or standing through the break, or maybe you're driving along during the break. We are back. Welcome Facebook Live, Biz Talk Radio. Also those in San Diego listening to us live on AM 1240, 855-424-9825. We've got that phone number on the screen, Facebook screen, if you're watching on your computer. Also John at gardenamerica.com as we continue. Tom Spellman, our guest, had to take a break, Tiger, but we are back and a lot of info to cover.
Yeah, so before the break, Tom was touching on winter fruit tree care, and we were getting to the point where he was treating the trees for the future bugs and future problems like peach leaf curl.
Right.
Tom, we had a question from one of our viewers named Rick, who had said last year he had asked you about treating the fruit trees with some kelp and some worm castings to prevent bugs for the season. And you had said to him, oh, there was, not a ton of data on that at the moment. And he wanted to know if you had any updates on any of those treatment techniques for bugs using kelp or worm castings.
Well, that's a great question. And, I would have to come back with, kelp and worm castings are really more of something that's going to bump the health of the tree. They're fertility type products. They're going to increase the bioactivity in the soil. Kelp is a wonderful post-dormancy control for some of these issues like peach leaf curl or powdery mildew. I've used it successfully in the early summer, late spring and early summer. But as far as preventing or reducing the amount of inoculum during the wintertime, I don't know that you're going to get that much benefit. But the benefit is there in keeping the system of the tree healthy.
Yeah.
You're always going to be able to outgrow bacterial or disease or insect issues much more effectively if the tree is healthy. So I'm on board. I'm there.
All right. Hey, and then I wanted to touch on one other thing that came across from one of our viewers, and they wanted to know if there's a good video for the winter pruning techniques that you described. And I just want to let everybody know that on our Facebook Live feed, I did post a link to Dave Wilson's website and their 2018 winter pruning video that you guys have. And just for everybody to also know that on their website, they have a whole catalog of how-to videos that you can look at and review these topics in more detail. So, Tom, I want to let you know that.
And that's on our Facebook page, right,
Yeah, that's on our Facebook.
And I think a lot of times videos are also on GardenTube. So if you go to GardenTube.com, you can see those.
Perfect.
Hey, Tom, we have
they seem to get around.
We have a question from another listener in Lompoc, and she said that last year she had a Meyer lemon that had over 100 lemons on it, but almost no leaves. And she said now the leaves are just starting to come in and is wondering what the problem could be.
Well, that's a very simple situation of overproduction. So once you get a lot of fruit on there, probably more fruit than a small tree like that should really carry, then it's the foliage that becomes compromised. So the tree's pushing most of its nutrients, carbohydrates, and things like that into trying to finish that fruit. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're limiting your fruit production. Meyer lemon can be an overbearing fool. I mean, I've seen Meyer lemons with hundreds and hundreds of fruit on them.
I know a few people
and they
like
tend
that.
to set in clusters. So what you want to do is make sure, first of all, once the fruit's about the size of a dime, you want to make sure you're eliminating those clusters down to single pieces of fruit. And, just try and keep the fruit in balance with what you think the structure should do. And Meyer lemon is what we call an ever-bearing citrus. It can bloom and set fruit almost any month out of the year. So once you have fruit, it goes through several stages, from green to a yellow-green to a bright yellow to almost an orange color. And once you start to see Meyer lemon with that orangey tinge to it, that's telling you the fruit is at optimum peak ripeness, and you want to get that fruit off the tree and use it.
So all the energy went into producing those lemons at the expense of the leaves, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And so what would be your recommendation?
And oftentimes people tend to leave the fruit on too long, so that's why I want to make sure that people understand, hey, you've got a lemon. I know it looks beautiful. It looks like a little Christmas tree there with all those ornaments on it. But, if you want it to continue to bloom, continue to produce throughout the year, you've got to make sure you're using that fruit as it ripens up.
And then after people have picked it and harvested it, to get that foliage to come back on, just some good all-purpose organic fertilizer to follow up with it, or anything else?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an issue where you may want to use a little more nitrogen than I would normally like to use, but you want to get that balance back. You want a good balance between structure, foliage, and fruit.
All right. And then, Tom, back to kind of where you were leading with our conversation right before the break. Heidi asked, she has peach leaf curl, so what does she need to do right now to prevent it from happening again this season?
Well, during the winter dormant season, you want to use a dormant disease control spray, and there's 5 or 6 of them out there in California that are available. But you want to make sure that your dormant disease control sprays applied during the wintertime are product containing copper, and that's the best preventative against spring diseases on deciduous fruit trees. And then after they start to break out in the spring, after you've had bloom, you've got a small fruit set. I don't like to use chemicals at that point, although, it's questionable. Copper's questionable, but I would definitely recommend at that point. That's when you want to start a program using the kelp sprays and things like that, because they're organic. They're basically a foliage boost. They're gonna keep the foliage firm and vigorous, and keep the tree as healthy as possible. So those won't really prevent against the disease in the late spring, early summer, but they allow the tree to outgrow it.
Got it. And then we have another question from a woman named Pamela, and she says, how do I deal with leaf rust on apple trees? I have cedars nearby. I've read that has an effect on pear leaf rust, or effect per leaf rust. So she
Well,
has...
Does that make sense, Tom?
Yeah, several things to consider on that. Typically, it's also associated with higher humidity. So anything you can do to break that humidity. Maybe the trees are being irrigated at night. Maybe there's overspray that the trees are getting from somebody else's sprinkler system. So try and keep the trees dry as much as possible. Irrigation should be in the soil and not so much on the foliage of the tree. But, rust is kind of opportunistic. When the weather conditions are right, it's going to manifest itself. And when the humidity's down and the temperatures are warmer and drier in the summer months, you usually don't see it that much. If you're seeing it in the summertime, then you've got some sort of inoculum in the area where you're going to have to try and control it on that host plant as well.
And then to control it, would you be using the same product with copper at that time, or something else?
It's tough to make that recommendation over the radio. I would say what you want to do is take some samples, some representative, fresh samples, put them in a Ziploc baggie, take them down to a retail nursery garden center that you trust, and make sure that you get that issue properly identified. At that time, you can choose your weapon.
Got it. So we've carried through into the winter treatment. What's after treatment for bugs for our winter fruit trees?
Well, we want to start on the West Coast anyway. We want to start thinking about getting our first application of fertilizer on. I like to apply that about the end of January, early February. And it looks like we're going to get a series of storms coming through, so I'm always using that as an opportunity to get my first application of fertilizer on just before a good winter storm comes in, and it allows it to wash itself down through the mulch a little more effectively and become available to the root system right away.
And
so, and you know my philosophy on that. I'm a big organic advocate. I'm also once my trees are established in size, they're the size that I want them to maintain them at. They're starting to produce fruit. I'm taking nitrogen out of the program, or say taking heavy nitrogen out of the program in favor of phosphorus and potash and trace elements. And I'm always looking for a humic acid-based fertilizer. So anything we can do to limit the growth but aid in root stability and the production of flowers, that's where the fruit's going to come from.
And you mentioned something there, once you have your trees at the height that you want them. And that's something else we should discuss. I know we've got a break coming up here, but Tom, there is a way to keep from having to climb up on a ladder all the time and cut down fruit or do what you need to do. So how does one keep a fruit tree to the level that they want?
Well, I've picked up over the years, I've picked up two different philosophies on pruning of fruit trees.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about winter detail pruning already, and that's
right.
Exactly what it is. You're looking for detail issues. For size control, I'm doing most of my pruning in the mid to late summer, or even into fall. And basically, I don't want to say it's mindless, but you can basically just go out, put your hand up, choose a height, take the top out of it.
Okay, to hold that thought right there, we're going to continue.
I'm not looking for detail issues.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Tom, come back because I want you to elaborate on that because I think a lot of people are not aware of that. And we're going to talk about that with more questions. Again, 855-424-9825, John@GardenAmerica.com. And right there on Facebook Live, Garden America continues after these
Want a
words.
better looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info. Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard Spinosad Soap. This combination of spinosad and fatty acids kills aphids, mealybugs, worms, caterpillars, and other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit and veggies to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard Spinosad Soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready to spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650. National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 9 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield. Another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 30. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
That's right, john@gardenamerica.com. You can also reach us at 855
I think just before the break, Tom, if you were finished up, we were talking about keeping your fruit trees at a level that's manageable so you don't have to get up on a 20-foot ladder, correct?
Absolutely. And, the new philosophies with even most of the commercial fruit growers in the California Central Valley now, when it comes to prunus varieties, deciduous fruit trees, peach, plum, nectarine, apricot, cherries, the pruning philosophy has changed dramatically over the last 20 or 25 years. Where those guys used to do all of their pruning in the wintertime, they've now switched to doing most of their pruning before the tree goes dormant. They want to make sure that they're doing it at a time of year when diseases don't spread as readily, and they also want to make sure that they've got that canopy reduced so that they have air movement and light exposure at the right time of the year. So it's now a standard commercial policy to do a lot of the pruning in the summer and fall. And when it comes to most varieties like prunus, they're producing any time from May until August or early September. Now you have an opportunity to do that once the fruit's off the tree. You can come in and just make your cuts for size control. Sure, if I see a broken branch, I'm going to take it out, but I'm not looking for detail when I summer prune. All I'm looking for is to get the size of the tree manageable for me. So it's just strictly size control pruning. Detail comes later.
Tom, I've noticed that if you cut back a tree too hard, that it encourages water sprouts. If that happens, do you just go through and cut that sprout in half?
Yeah, and then again, those water sprouts come during the aggressive growing season. So if you're making those cuts in June or July or maybe even early August, that's when you're going to get the most of that regrowth activity. If you're making them in the later part of summer, you're going to get really very little regrowth activity.
Oh, got it.
You got a question on Facebook, Tiger?
Yeah, Sophia asked Tom, she's got a cherry tree, and she wasn't specific with the particular pest that was plaguing her, but she wanted to know any treatment for bugs. I'm assuming with cherries, and she's talking about the fruit, there's probably some kind of worm that maybe is going after her fruit.
But something obviously that's safe for an edible.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations for...
Again, the most important consideration is what is that bug? What is doing that damage? So, again, the first thing I recommend, if you don't know what it is, you take a fresh representative sample, put it up in a Ziploc baggie, take it down to a retail nursery that you trust, and get that issue identified. Only at that time are you able to really make a decision as far as how you're going to control that problem.
Yeah, and then as you had mentioned with some of these things, it might be something that she goes to the garden center and they say, hey, this is something that you can't treat now. You have to wait until the winter. This is your treatment then, and then, next spring. Because sometimes for fruit trees, when you see that bug or when you see that problem, it's too late, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And, there are issues. Cherries are susceptible to shot hole fungus in the spring, so you'll see all these little pock marks on the leaves that look like it's been hit by a shotgun, and people think, well, this is some kind of an insect chewing on my leaves, so they'll get out a bug spray and spray the tree when in fact what they're dealing with is a fungus. So getting that issue identified properly before making any decisions for control is a must.
And then unless you live where John lives, then he goes out there and goes, somebody's been shooting my trees with shotguns. And, because if you live in that kind of an area, that's a whole nother problem.
That's true. Hey,
well, John might shoot back.
No, I'm nonviolent. I would probably just hide. Hey,
peace and love.
I was... and it's so weird to think about this because I haven't thought about it for many years, but we're talking about cherries. And in Michigan, when I was a kid, they would spray the cherry trees when they were fruiting with lead arsenate.
What?
And that would stop the birds from eating the fruit. But we would go out there and pick the cherries.
And just eat them.
I mean, our parents would say, make sure you wipe those off.
Wipe the lead off.
But yes, sometimes, and it's not just lead, it's lead arsenate.
Yeah.
So you've got arsenic
That explains
and
a lot, John.
Yeah, it does,
exactly.
yeah. I was just thinking, this could be part of the problem that I've had.
Either that, in 40 years, maybe that's it.
Hey,
that's true.
He's immune to everything.
Hey, Tom, when the last question I'll ask from one of our viewers comes from Rick, and he wants to know, and it's a little bit of a loaded question, but is there any peach trees that are new that you recommend, or what would be a peach tree that you recommend for, is it Reading?
No, he's in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Grants Pass. Well, yeah, there's a lot of good varieties for that area. So, basically what I recommend people do is go to our website, go to the home garden or home grower section, go to the variety description list, and there's a listing of all the varieties, all the good varieties that we offer, and an explanation of what the fruit type is, an explanation of when they ripen. So choose a succession of varieties that are going to ripen during your peak season harvest time. You don't want just one. You want 2 or 3 or 4 peaches that are going to ripen over a 2 or 3 month period, and make sure they're varieties that are adaptable to your climate, and make sure they're the type that you want. Do you want a canning peach that's going to be a clingstone? Do you want a white flesh? Do you want a yellow flesh? Do you want it in May? Do you want it in August? So there's lots of variables, and it's really difficult for me to choose a variety for people.
Yeah.
I could always say, plant a Rio Oso, it's a great variety, or plant an August Pride, or something like that. But really, people should do their homework and make those decisions intelligently, so they plan out that successive ripening garden, and they choose varieties that are adaptable to their climate. And not only varieties, but choose a tree that's grafted onto a rootstock that is adaptable to your climate and your soil type. Because you can buy the right variety on the wrong rootstock for your area, and that's going to be a poor performing tree. So not only is it important to select cultivars, it's just as important to select the right rootstocks.
We've got a news break coming up here, Tom, but we have a few more questions on Facebook Live. Tom, can we hold you over? Would you mind? Do you have time?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay, because we've got a break coming up here, a news break. So you stay on.
A little bit longer break than normal.
Yeah, a little longer break. It's a news break, Tom. You stay on, because I'm seeing more and more Facebook questions appear, and we want to get those people covered as best we can. So stay with us. Tom's going to stay over into hour number 2. And again, 554249825. Questions and comments on Facebook Live, or John at GardenAmerica.com. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main. That's going to do it for hour number 1. We're back at 6 minutes after. More with Tom Spellman and more of your questions. Stay with us.
Listen on the go. Download the Biz Talk Radio app. Available on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. Biz Talk Radio. The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of the station Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. At Biz.
For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent. Air traffic control employees are still at work, but Dan McCabe of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association says a government shutdown 6 years ago remains a problem for training and staffing today.
Anytime that there is a shutdown like this, the FAA Academy in Oklahoma City, which is the single point for new hires to go through, it closes. And closing something like that is like stopping a freight train at 80 miles an hour and then starting it up again.
The ranks of air traffic controllers are already at a 30-year low. White House officials and congressional staffers continue negotiations today over the government shutdown. Congressman John Sarbanes tells CNN he wants to see a real discussion on border security.
If this were a real discussion about border security, instead of the president just being stuck on this idea of a wall, which is something that doesn't make sense according to everybody who looks at the way security operates at the border, then we could have that kind of a leveraged discussion.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. If your New Year's resolution is to be healthier, it all starts with a good night's rest. MyPillow's best offer ever has been extended. When you go to MyPillow.com, click on the end of the year special, you'll get the lowest price ever MyPillow has offered for their 4-pack, free shipping, and their 60-day money-back guarantee has been extended through March 1st. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the end of the year special, use my promo code USA to get 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. MyPillow.com, promo code USA.
3 people are dead, 4 injured in a shooting around midnight at a bowling alley in Torrance, California. CNN reports this witness heard the shots and took cover.
A lot of people ran back into the bar area, behind the seats and on the floor, under the benches. People were crying.
Witnesses say it started out as a brawl. Democrats who now control the House are taking the first steps toward heightened scrutiny of the Trump administration and investigations into Russia's efforts to interfere with the presidential election. Democratic Congressman Stephen Lynch of Massachusetts, who serves on the House Oversight Committee, tells CNN lawmakers need to take a closer look at efforts to sway the 2016 election.
We had 14 of our security agencies, intelligence agencies, confirm with high probability that the Russians hacked the election. So there's been no meaningful investigation by Congress, even though we have that information from the intelligence committees.
Special counsel Robert Mueller's federal grand jury has been extended so it may continue to meet and vote on criminal indictments for up to 6 more months. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Protesters are on their 8th weekend of demonstrations in Paris as the French president vows to keep implementing more employment reforms. Numbers of protesters appear to be down, and authorities warned they would not tolerate illegal acts. The Miami Herald reports the truck driver at the center of a fiery Florida crash that killed him, another trucker, and 5 children received several traffic tickets over the years. Court records show that 59-year-old Steve Holland of West Palm Beach was ticketed between 2000 and 2014 in Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and Virginia for violations including speeding, driving an unsafe vehicle, driving an overloaded vehicle, and not carrying proof of insurance. The Highway Patrol says that Holland was traveling north on I-75 near Gainesville Thursday when he veered control and went through the center divider, striking a southbound church van from Louisiana and another truck. 5 children from ages 9 to 14 in the van died. Avoyelles Parish School Superintendent Blaine Doza tells KATC-TV they're making plans for helping students deal with their classmates' deaths when classes resume after the holiday break.
On Wednesday, when our kids return, at the 2 schools affected, we will have grief counselors. We'll have what we call our crisis teams on site at both schools, just to do whatever we can do.
19 states now have high levels of flu activity, according to the latest numbers from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's more than double the number of states from the previous week. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
It may have been a messy divorce that suddenly cut your income in half, but not your bills. It might have been an injury or illness, or your boss just cutting back your hours. It doesn't really matter how you got in over your head. It only matters that you are, and that we're here to help. If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call Action Debt and do it now. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. One day late, they charge you a late fee. Miss a payment, they double your rate. You just don't think it's fair, and neither do we. This is not bankruptcy or just a simple rate reduction plan. We fight for you using our proven experience in the insider programs that credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to the credit card companies, you owe it to yourself to call Action Debt at 800-384-7099. Just because you got in over your head doesn't mean you have to stay there forever. Call 800-384-7099 today and we can be on your side tomorrow. 800-384-7099. 800-384-7099.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or john@gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
And we are back. Thank you for hanging in there during that news break. It is 6 minutes after the hour. Welcome to all you Facebook viewers. Listeners across the country, around the world, Biz Talk Radio streaming. Want to give us a call, 855-424-9825, john@gardenamerica.com. Tom is one of our more popular guests, and usually we have a guest on for part of the first hour, but holding over Tom to hour number 2 because, Tiger, so many questions keep coming.
I think this is a first. I mean, here it is, a brand new year for Garden America, and I think the first time we've ever held the guest over till the second hour.
It's a great way to kick off 2019, Tom, and we do appreciate your patience and taking time with us. Tiger, we're going to start on Facebook and work our way down with more questions. Tom, if you're ready.
I'm ready to go, and I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you so much. You want to hit Bob Boyd?
Yeah. So, kind of a. I don't want to hit it.
Not sure what that meant,
but this is kind of a good leading question, I think, for you here, Tom, because Bob asks, what new fruit trees is Dave Wilson putting out this year, and what in future years?
Boy, we have so many new varieties under experimentation right now. It's just going to be a fruit fiesta in the next few years. You know, we have lots of new interspecifics, peach plum hybrids, nectarine plum hybrids, apricot peach hybrids, cherry plum hybrids. You know, our usual pluots and apriums. I mean, there's just dozens and dozens of new varieties that we're experimenting with, and you know, there's so many good varieties on the market now. It's tough to beat what's out there.
Right.
But what we're really looking for now are season extenders. So we're looking for varieties that ripen earlier than normal, or varieties that ripen later than normal. One of my favorites that I'm hoping to introduce in unfortunately not 2019 but 2020 is a really late peach variety we're calling Oktoberfest.
Wow.
And this variety literally hung on the tree until the first week of November.
Wow.
It stayed firm. It had a nice texture to the fruit. It was a big orange fleshed freestone, and what a great peach for that late in the season. I've never tasted anything that was that good that hung on the tree that long. So I'm really looking forward to introducing that.
Yeah.
And when you guys do a test like that, how many years do you spend testing it, developing it before you do release it?
Well, Tiger, it's a minimum of 14 years.
Wow. So I guess you're pretty sure by that time.
That's from the time that it's hybridized.
Wow.
So, you know, we're you know, the original hybridization process, they go through a 4-year evaluation program, and then the selections are decided on, and they're taken from that original 4-year seedling trial, and they're budded out into field trees so that we can grow a nice quick structure and get fruiting wood right away. So, you know, after that, we run them pretty much for a minimum of 10 years of field trial. And that allows us the opportunity to determine average bloom times, chill hour requirements, what the recommended pollinator should be if they require one, or are they self-fruitful, and we get a good overall reliable data on what the fruit quality is, and did it do the same thing every year? Were there variances in bloom time or variances in harvest time? So all those things are pretty important. And in the past, I would have to say we've done more harm than good by releasing varieties too early before we really had all the information that we needed. So it's okay to do that commercially, because if a commercial grower is willing to take the chance on 20 acres of a new pluot, and if it fails, they just put something else in. But I don't want homeowners to grow a tree for 5, 6, 7, 8 years only to find that it's not going to be the variety for them.
Right.
So we're very diligent about doing our homework and making sure that what we release has an established, reliable track record.
You know, that takes care of one of my New Year's resolutions. I can cross it off my list already, and it was to look into breeding new fruit trees. So I don't think I have 14 years left.
Well, you know, I
stick with
one
roses.
of the videos that we posted. One of the videos that we posted was kind of a walkthrough or spending a day with the Zagers up in Modesto, the people that do our hybridizing for us.
Right.
And Floyd Zager, bless his heart, 92 years old, still working every day, 7 days a week. He's out there doing something in his program. And Floyd has been doing this now for about 65 years.
Wow.
And he tells me that it's taken that long to really come up with the germplasm varieties that he has right now, to have the right varieties into the pollination program, and being able to use the right varieties for cross-pollinating. And, it's the amount of work that this man, he's dedicated his whole life to this, and he's come up with some incredible things. And at this point on, it just seems like they're getting better and better all the time. And I don't know how much better they can actually get.
That's amazing because, Tiger, you need 30 more years just to be alive for 65 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Tom, can I quickly ask you, since we're talking about new varieties, there's an old variety that I think Dave Wilson has just released that I don't really know a lot about, and I'm just interested for myself. It's the King David apple.
Oh yeah, King David is fast becoming one of my favorite apple varieties. It was one that we never would have considered years ago until we started doing a little more apple variety research down at the Irvine Field Station. And my trial down there is 30 high chill varieties planted in low chill Irvine, and I'm getting some tremendous results out of that program. We can talk about that another time maybe. But King David is one of the shining stars of that program. It's doing well in both low chill and high chill climates. It's a great piece of fruit. It has a wonderful texture, and it's an old variety. It's been around for a long time, and it's one that we never really considered before, and now I think it's going to become at least a leading backyard variety in Southern California, and we're definitely selling it to more commercial guys now than had ever considered it before.
Tiger, more questions, more Facebook questions. Colleen?
Yeah, so I'll combine these two questions here, Tom, for you. No, we'll do Colleen first. I see what you're saying. Okay. She has a tree that never seems to go dormant, so I imagine what she's describing is the fruit never seems to come off. When is the best time to prune? And if I remember correctly, when you were talking about the lemon earlier, that it's almost one of those things you do need to pick the fruit because you can leave it on too long and then it just carries into the next season.
Controlling your own production, right?
Absolutely. And a lemon tree going dormant, I hope it doesn't, because that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
That means that there's something wrong. But
well, both dead and dormant begin with a D.
Lemon trees, I think the main concern is, where are you located? Is frost a concern if it's a big outdoor tree? You don't want to prune in the late summer or early fall where you're going to regenerate a lot of growth into the winter season. So best time to prune lemons would be right after all danger of frost. I would say in the West, you're looking at March, April, maybe into May. And lemons are going to bloom all through the season. So you're never really going to have a time when that tree has no fruit on it or no flowers on it. And if you're waiting for that to prune, you're never going to be able to prune. So
and then you'll end up with
a lot of try and prune around some of the fruit and flower set.
Yeah, you'll end up with a lot of dead growth in the middle, and eventually that tree will not produce as well. But I'm going to combine these two questions in for you here, Tom. It's from Janice and Craig. And Craig says he has a burgundy plum tree, or will a burgundy plum tree pollinate a flavor Grenade pluot? And then Janice writes, what is the best pollinator for a Bing cherry? And one thing before you get into that, maybe, Tom, I want to mention is that if you guys go to davewilson.com, they have their whole catalog of trees, and they have all the pollinator lists on there. Am I correct there, Tom?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's in our variety descriptions, and all that's in the home grower or home gardener section of the website.
Yeah. So regardless.
So yeah, a burgundy plum absolutely will pollinate flavor grenade plua. They bloom well at the same time, and they're both what we would call extended season bloomers. So they're gonna even overlap some not only mid-season varieties but some early and even late bloomers. So both of those are very compatible together. I would have no problem planting that combination. Now for Bing cherry, it's as long as you're in the right climate, it's a pretty easy variety to pollinate. All the old-fashioned varieties will pollinate with it. Lapins or Van or Black Tartarian.
Hey, Tom, hold that thought. We're going to go to a break. We are back and finish that up. And, Tom, very patient. We do appreciate it. Yes, we do see your questions on Facebook. We're going to get to them as we move down the line here. So do stay with us. You can also reach us at 855-424-9825. Coming back.
Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard Spinosad Soap. This combination of spinosad and fatty acids kills aphids, mealybugs, worms, caterpillars, and other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit and veggies to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard Spinosad Soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready to spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information. Want a better-looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
Want more business content? You need BizVod, the place for business videos on demand. With BizVod, you can watch the business videos you want to watch when you want to watch. Search for topics that interest you. Available on Roku and Web TV, and soon on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, iOS, and Android. With BizVod, you don't have to wait for business content. You are in control with hundreds of business shows and clips available on demand. Log on to BizVod today and use promo code RADIO for your first month free. That's right, for a limited time, your first month is free with no obligation. You can cancel anytime. Membership to BizVod is only $49.95 for the year. That's less than $5 a month. Again, the promo code for your first 30 days free is RADIO. BizVod, the place for business videos on demand. Log on to bizvod.com and join today.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed.
For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to greathealthywater.com. That's greathealthywater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And again, thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with us here on Garden America. It's always good to have you, Facebook viewers, listeners on Biz Talk Radio, AM 12 during hour number 1. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. A great show today. We've got Tom Spellman from Dave Wilson Nursery. And Tom's always in the middle of explaining something when we have to go to a break, Tiger. And we are back. And just to let you know, we still have questions. So let's pick it up from here, Tiger.
Yeah, so he was just getting to Jan's question about the Bing cherry. And basically
pollination.
A lot of the older varieties should be able to pollinate the Bing. It's a very versatile tree. So, if you live in anywhere, where you have some old varieties of cherry, you'd be
now,
okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jan lives in Brentwood, California.
She probably can,
which is up in the
not
Bay.
even have to worry about it.
Up in the Bay Area.
Oh, that Brentwood. Okay.
Yeah, that Brentwood. So, I guess it gets cool there, but not really cold. But I imagine...
Yeah, I don't know that Brentwood is going to give you optimum chill hours for Bing, but you're certainly going to get fruit in, some years or even most years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pollinator would be a necessity. And, if I just had to pick one out of the group that I mentioned, I would say probably Lapins. Lapins is a wonderful, actually a Bing-type fruit, and it was designed by the... I think British Columbia Cherry Growers Association as a pollinator for Bing, because they could market the fruit pretty much the same. So they can sell you Lapins and Bing in the same box, and you won't know the difference. and it's a really good pollinating variety.
Yeah.
And Dave Wilson has come up with some low chill cherries for climates, like all the way down to San Diego, where cherries don't normally thrive, and some of the newer varieties you put out are doing well, I believe.
Yeah, again, that's from the genius of Floyd Zager, and the three main low-chill varieties are Mini Royal, Royal Lee, and one that we just released a couple of years ago called Royal Crimson. And they're all interfruitful and pollinate well together, and they ripen one right after the other. So I have a combination planting of all three, triangulated from each other in 3 or 4 feet apart, and they do wonderful. The Mini Royals ripe first, the Royal Crimson's ripe second, and the Royal Lee comes in after that. So it's about 6 or maybe even 7 weeks worth of cherries, one right after the other. In all three varieties I've grown in the place where people would grow one tree.
Now, is the fruit quality on those varieties as good as Bing, or does it approach Bing?
Honestly, John, I would say all three of those varieties, in my personal opinion, are a step above Bing.
Really? Wow.
Absolutely.
That says something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very popular on the commercial market, and those would be wonderful selections for the Northern California Brentwood as well. They're going to probably get 400 to 600 chill hours on average, but these varieties have done well in that climate. But they will produce well with much less chill. We estimate all of them between the 200 and 300 hour range.
I'm making mental notes of what I've got to plant up my new house.
You had mentioned before that Dave Wilson was doing a wonderful job of releasing some of the combination, and one is the Pluot. And Jerry asks, is there any Pluot that you specifically recommend for planting based on like a flavor?
Well, if they have other plum or Pluot varieties in as pollinators, you can go with pretty much whatever you want. But one of the nice things that we do is we produce 2 different combinations of multiple budded Pluots. So we have both selections have either 3 or 4 varieties on the tree, so the pollinator's built in, and they're all staggered harvest season. So if you get one of these trees, you're going to have pluots again, like those 3 cherries. You're going to have pluots for about 6, 7, 8 weeks. So if you don't have the space, or if you don't have the pollinators available, you're concerned about having too many trees in a small space, then the multiple budded trees are a great option.
Good to look for. Good to look out for. Can you read Jeffrey's question, Brian? It's a little bit long on my phone, and I can't quite get to it.
Okay, so Jeffrey has a new coffee cake persimmon in a pot that never truly broke dormancy last growing season. Instead, it produced hundreds of small green bumps up and down the trunk. The chocolate persimmon, let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's see. So the chocolate persimmon branched out and had good lateral growth. What should I expect from the coffee cake this season? So after all that, I guess, Tom, what should he expect, if anything?
Well, if it actually did attempt to break dormancy last season, and you had the bumps on the trunk, I would assume he's talking about swelling of vegetative buds, and maybe it just broke out or started to break out too late in the season to really actually advance and put on some structure. So let's just hope for the best and say that it's going to grow out this spring for him.
Yeah,
one of the things we often see with persimmons, if they don't get pruned back when they're planted from a bare root, if you plant a 6-foot persimmon tree, you want to cut it back to 4, and that's going to put it more in balance between the structure and the root system. If you've got too much top for the small root system that's there, they tend not to push out, but they'll stay alive and they'll want to break dormant, but they just don't have the nutrient flow from that smaller root system to really push out the structure. So let's hope that he got some root development through the summer and fall, and that those buds are still viable and it's going to grow out this spring.
Yeah, and that's something people need to remember too, is that if they do plant from bare root, that sometimes it's not a 1 year and instant success thing. It could be a 2 or 3 year development. I mean, you trim it to make sure that the plant's still alive. You still see green within the branching, and if you see those buds swelling, it's developing. But it might take a year or two to actually get some viable growth, right, Tom?
Yeah, and that's what we want to consider our structural development time. I'm never expecting fruit on a tree for the first 2 or maybe even 3 years. I'm looking more towards developing structures. The tree's going to be fruiting able in the future for many more years.
Right.
So we all need to be patient, and if you're planting a bare root tree, it is absolutely important to take a look at the root system, take a look at the structure. You want to prune that structure back to no more the scaffolding, not necessarily the trunk, but the scaffolding branches should be pruned back to no more than 1.5 times the size of the root system that the tree has at planting time.
And the last question we'll ask you, Tom, get you off the phone, and we might have to type this one back for her, Laura Bryan, is she's got a Meyer lemon and a pomegranate sprouted up right next to it from what she described. And she's wondering if she should remove the pomegranate, and I can't read the rest of it.
Yeah, is it going to create a problem?
Create a problem. And, so she just wants to know about them two interacting with each other. But,
and we'll answer that question after the break. Hang with us, Tom.
Sorry about
And then we'll let you go, because I know you're busy. We are approaching 30 minutes after the hour. We're going to get to those questions and more. You can also reach us telephone, 855-424-9825. Also, John at GardenAmerica.com. Bryan, Maine, Tiger, Palafox. John Bagnasco, welcome to Garden America. Thank you so much for being right there with us as we take a break. We're coming right back.
Biz Talk News wants to feature your business as part of our Discovery feature, which highlights businesses that are not yet known nationally, but offer products or services that benefit Biz TV viewers. Available in over 40 markets on broadcast TV and online via biztvclub.com. Biz TV wants to help get the word out about your business. If you're interested in having your business featured on a future episode of Biz Talk Discovery, email us at discovery@biztv.com.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples? Doing business like a CEO while saving like a CFO.
Staples has all the supplies you need to run your business like a boss at prices that'll make your bookkeeper smile.
Now that is an achievement.
Everything from pens to brand spanking new calendars. And right now, 2019 DeskPad calendars are just $3.99.
So get your business ready for a big year at Staples, where there's a whole lot in store.
Valid on SKU 279-6207. Ends 1/5/19.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel in pre-engineered structures is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. Heard right, that's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-915-8941. 800-915-8941. 800-915-8941. Call right now. Operators are standing by. 800-915-8941.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Okay, it is hour number 2 of the Garden America show, 35 minutes after. Thank you so much. Been a very lively couple of hours, hour and a half with Tom Spellman, guys.
Yeah, and both our thanks and apologies to Tom
Yeah.
for keeping him on this long, because I had not planned to be on this long. But
Facebook is giving us so many questions, Tom, so we do appreciate your patience. Are we?
Hey, I'm good. I
Okay.
welcome the opportunity.
Well, we do appreciate you.
And so we had left off with a question regarding the pomegranate and the Meyer lemon planted
is that gonna be
very
in-
close together, and is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, that definitely would be a problem. You know, pomegranate's pretty aggressive growing, and it would certainly overpower a Meyer lemon. So, fortunately, we're in early January, and the pomegranate should be dormant now, or at least going dormant. So, if she wants to go in and dig it out and transplant it out, this would be the time to do it. If she is not considering saving the pomegranate, then you still want to get in and get it out of the ground now so that it doesn't interrupt the Meyer lemon as it grows out in the spring.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good info. Tom, thank you very much from our show. A lot of good questions answered, a lot of good answers for our viewers, a lot of good information.
You've
for
got
our
the link
listeners.
up there on Facebook?
Yeah, davewilson.com. All of the information and more that we just discussed today is on davewilson.com, and they have wonderful tutorials, wonderful videos on how to. And Tom is the star of a lot of them, so you can't get enough of Tom out there, right?
Well, that's debatable.
It's really
guys. Thank you very, very much. I totally
You
appreciate
bet.
the opportunity and always look forward to spending some time with you.
Yeah,
Right back at you. We feel the same way. Thank you, Tom. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.
Okay, bye now.
There he goes, Tom Spellman. And again, thank you, Facebook viewers. Lots of great questions. If you didn't get your question answered, again, your best bet, go to that link that Tiger put up on our Facebook page, DaveWilsonNursery.com. Is that right, DaveWilsonNursery.com?
Dave Wilson Nursery.
And,
DaveWilson.com.
Oh, just DaveWilson.com. And there's plenty of info, John, in case you want to find out about, that problem that you're dealing with.
I'm not sure it's still there because I don't have their website pulled up, but they used to have that this time of the year you could actually send an email to them and they would answer you. So you might want to check their website and see if that's still on there if you have a question that did not get answered today.
Yeah, and Dave Wilson, great company that's been doing wonderful things for fruit trees over the years, new developments, new varieties, expanding the growth of certain varieties. So,
and here's the guy, Fred, 92 years old.
Floyd Zager.
Or Floyd. Now, is Floyd the guy responsible for
all the genetics
and the cherry not needing as much chill hours, so on and so forth,
and all the interspecific hybrids, mixing plums and apricots and
wow,
and
cherries.
Cherries.
They make something with cherries, right? Plums with cherries, right?
Yeah.
That's a cherry cot, right? I don't know.
A plummery.
What does a pluout look like? Have I seen one?
They
John?
look like plums.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen them. Okay.
Yeah.
They look like plums.
Some of the varieties have a dappled skin, and the marketing thing, which I always thought was stupid, was Boy, there goes one of my resolutions too. I was going to try not to say things like that this year. But they were marketing them as dinosaur eggs.
I remember that.
That's just kind of silly, I think.
Well, no, I remember they ran 2 or 3 years ago a series of radio commercials, and pluots, or as we like to call them, dinosaur eggs. Like what? Who likes to call them that?
And who's eating dinosaur eggs?
I remember
exactly.
For some reason, I'm reminiscing about my youth in Michigan today, but I remember as a kid a promotion of a fruit from Jamaica called Ugly.
Ugly?
Ugly.
And Ugly is actually the variety. It's UGLI, and it's kind of a tangerine cross.
Oh.
I'm not positive. Some type of mandarin cross. The fruit itself is ugly. It's really bumpy. You know how satsumas get? Like triple that, and kind of greenish mixed with the orange color.
It's not inviting.
No, and really, really juicy. And I don't believe they're available in California. Years ago, when I was working with Armstrong Nurseries, I had spoken to Don Derling about trying to produce those for sale here in Southern California. And I think they have the plant at UC Riverside. You know, all citrus before it's released to the public has to be virus indexed. And the citrus bank is kept up there at UC Riverside. There's many, many varieties, probably hundreds of varieties that have not been released to the public. And he said he did find budwood up there, and I don't know if they were going to experiment with it or not, but as I recall...
Is it sweet?
Yeah, it's really juicy, not as sweet as some tangerines, but it is on the sweetish side. I remember it as being kind of watery.
Yeah.
But if you're living in Michigan and it's the middle of winter, it tastes really good.
What was the name of that apple that he liked so well? That
King David.
King David. Yeah.
King
Always
David.
looking for good apples.
If I remember, I think the reason it's called King David is that when you cut it open crosswise, there's a star in the center.
Oh.
You know, where the seeds are.
Okay.
And resembling, I guess, a Star of David. But anyway, I made a note. My new property is going to have a King David apple.
You know what I hate? Apples that are mealy. Oh, you bite into it, and it's just kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Not mushy, but just not crisp.
And there's certain varieties I've noticed that have really good flavor. But they have a tendency towards being mealy. And one apple that I really like is Brayburn, which I think is an Australian variety, if I'm not mistaken. But sometimes those come in and they're really mealy. Other apples like Fuji's, you hardly ever get a mealy Fuji, right?
I like jazz apples. Jazz are good.
Jazz are really good. And then the other one from New Zealand that your wife Dana was the first one to tell me about, Envy.
Envy, yeah.
Envy is really, really a good apple. I haven't seen those
Now,
recently.
are those names of the actual apple or those brands?
No, they're names of that.
Okay.
They're varietal names.
They're varietal names?
Yeah. I remember, again, growing up, your two choices in apples were Red Delicious and Gold Delicious.
That's it, yeah. Oh, there was Granny Smith.
Granny Smith?
No, not when I was growing up.
No?
Really?
No.
Well, Granny was still too young.
Really?
She wasn't a granny yet.
It was just Mrs. Smith?
Mrs. Smith.
It was just Mrs. Smith at that time?
Mrs. Smith's apples.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now there's what? There's Washington something?
It's funny that you would call an apple Red Delicious, and it is red, but really not delicious.
Well, you got to remember what they were comparing back in the day, because you know how they talk about Johnny Appleseed. Those apple trees that he was planting were not tasty apples; they were cider apples.
Well, the ones he was planting, but there were hundreds, literally
Tasty ones?
hundreds of heirloom varieties of apples that were available, but they weren't good for shipping. Yeah, one of my harking back to those days.
Doing a lot of harkening back
as
today,
we're going
aren't we?
down memory lane here. There was an apple called a snow apple that used to come in, as I remember, early winter in Michigan.
Thus the name Snow Apple?
Well, that, and when you cut the apple open, it was pure white in the center.
Wow.
And it had one of the best flavors that I've ever tasted, but I haven't had those since I was a kid. And I did look online. I'm trying to think if it was Dave Wilson's site. You know, Tom would have known this, but they did have them available. And I remember I had one specially grafted for Bruce and Sharon Asakawa, and I don't think it ever survived, or where they put it, or I don't know if it would grow down here or not. But that's one I might experiment with one day. There is a nursery up in Northern California called, I think it's Green Mantle Nursery, that will custom graft some of these heirloom varieties for you and then ship mail order. And I remember there was a plum I was really interested in. I think it was a Thomas Jefferson plum. It was a green gauge variety of plum that supposedly Thomas Jefferson grew, and was supposed to have a really unique flavor. And I also got one of those for Bruce and Sharon. Don't know whatever happened to that.
Any more stories, John?
Yeah,
this is great.
Bringing us back.
Yeah, I'm spellbound here. You've got my attention.
Yeah, I'll have to think. I don't know if it's the new year or what.
My days in Michigan as a youth.
Sounds like a book there.
It does. 45 minutes after the hour, we've got, let's see, one more break coming up, one more segment as we head toward the top of the hour. And we're still here if you have questions for one of us, 855-424-9825. You can also reach us, John at gardenamerica.com, or right there on Facebook Live. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Welcome to your weekend. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday morning with us here and afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, we're going to take a break. Coming right back. Stay with us.
Want a better looking lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. Care or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323. You love your car, and so does CarChecks. We're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have been helping people avoid spending a fortune in costly car repair bills for almost 20 years. For about $2.50 a day, you get the peace of mind in knowing that your expensive repair bills may be covered by a vehicle protection plan. Think about if your air conditioner or transmission goes out. That could cost you a few $1,000s. Or you can get protected with CarChecks and pay only a standard deductible. For about $2.50 a day, you can make sure you don't get stuck with the bill for covered repairs. Keep your car in tip-top shape. For a completely free quote, call CarChecks now at 800-958-5207. 800-958-5207. That's 800-958-5207. Or visit getprotected.com. That's getprotected.com.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Call the CPAP hotline now. 800-525-8891. 800-525-8891. That's 800-525-8891. Copays and deductibles apply. Supplies are replaced in accordance with Medicare guidelines.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves, restores, and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxid is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now. 1-800-829-5685. That's 1-800-829-5685. 1-800-829-5685.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is our final segment, and we are back. Yes, indeed.
Trading services for tomatoes.
We love each other. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. And again, we do appreciate the questions. We do want to thank, Tom Spellman from Dave Wilson Nursery once again, an hour and a half with us, and you guys asked some really good questions. Let's see, John at gardenamerica.com, Facebook, 855-424-9825. And let's see here, should I read the question from our director and studio coordinator?
Yeah, go with that one.
I guess people are calling in today but don't want to go on the air. So let's see here. Bear with me.
That's all right. This is radio.
We have 44 comments. Go.
Okay, so from Oceanside, California, this person has a citrus tree, lime/orange groves, used to produce fruit but hasn't for 2.5 years. It is planted near an avocado tree. Is this affecting the citrus? Should this person just give up, hold on to it? Is there hope? What hope? What should we do? So for a period of time, it was producing. Now it's not. How long has that avocado tree been there? If it's always been there, I can't imagine that all of a sudden it would affect it. Or could it?
Yeah, I mean, it could in the way of if the avocado grew substantially large over a period of time and
overtook it. And avocados, they have shallow roots. The roots are right there, right?
Right. But then at the same time, the citrus tree would have been growing at the same period of time, and then it would have probably developed its own growth habit to reach for the sun or reach for light.
Right, but avocados grow much faster than citrus, so it could easily be providing more shade.
Yeah.
And then depending, what the orientation is to maybe shade from the sun when the citrus needs it. If you're in Oceanside, you're really close to the coast.
Yeah, you are.
So you already don't have as much heat and sunlight as you have inland, and you throw the avocado on top of that, and that could be a problem. And then, Bryan, you're talking about root competition. That could easily be taken care of just with more fertilizer.
Okay.
So I would say, first of all, see what the leaves on the citrus look like. If they're a good, healthy, dark green, then that means you're getting plenty of food to the tree, and then I would think that it's more likely sunlight.
Yeah.
And that you could take care of that by pruning back the avocado so that it allows more light to the citrus.
That's a good possibility that over the years the avocado tree just kind of grew over it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot less light coming through.
Yeah. The last thing, and I think he said, 4 to 5 years, but we don't know the overall life of this citrus tree. And people do need to remember that citrus fruit trees as a whole, they do age out. Eventually they start to decrease production. And that's why, birds replant trees
all the time,
and, change them out is because they do age out eventually. So if it's a very, very old tree, it might be the problem as well as the overshadowing avocado and then it getting older, just not being able to develop as it used to.
You know the story about the Washington navel oranges, right? They came from...
More story time with John.
Well, they came from South America in the late 1800s, and 3 trees were brought to the United States. Brought here to California, and 2 of those 3 trees are still alive and producing.
Really?
Yeah. And they're at the up in the Pomona area.
Uh-huh.
There's a restaurant there where the trees were planted, and the two of those trees are still there. You can go see the original Washington navel oranges.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I didn't mean to go against what you were saying, because obviously they're probably not as productive as
they once were.
As they once were.
If they were overshadowed by an avocado, they might not produce.
Yeah. It's all this photosynthesizing. It just has me so confused.
When I found that out, I was just really, I did see that tree also, and just one of those things that amazes me.
Would those have been grafted back in the 1800s?
That's a good question.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if those were grafted or not. May have been, may not have been.
I got a question for you from one of our listeners, though.
What's that?
Yellow geranium. It's got a black film over it. Do you know what that could be?
This time of year, my guess would be that it's some type of fungus. You know that geraniums in general, the yellow geranium's not as vigorous as the other types of zonal geraniums, the reds, common reds, and the pinks and other colors. So they're not as vigorous to begin with, but I was noticing some of my other geraniums, because of the cold, which geraniums really don't like, have been developing rust and other types of fungus. So my guess is that's what's happening to the yellow geranium. If you can protect it from the cold at night, even taking a 5-gallon container, turning it upside down over the plant at night, and then taking it off during the day, that would help. But I think right now just spraying it with a good fungicide would work. Bayer's all-in-one rose and flower care. You could pour that around the base of the plant, and that should protect it going into the spring.
Yeah. All right.
I was noticing I think I planted maybe a dozen of those yellow geraniums around my house, and they're just now, the root systems have really taken off, and the plants are really big, and they just never stop blooming.
What is the one tree, plant, or horticultural item you can't take with you that you wish you could to your new house? And then we're going to end the show after that.
Oh, maybe my cowrie tree. Because
how big is it?
Yeah, why can't you take
maybe 80 feet?
Yeah.
But it's now, I planted it from a seed 30 years ago. And it's now big enough to where it's producing cones. The cones are dropping to the ground, and I have little cowrie trees coming up here and there. So I did dig one up, put it in a 5-gallon can, and that'll go with me to my new house.
But that has to be a little emotional, because you started that from scratch. That was a seedling, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of, after 30 years, there's a lot of emotional plant attachments to plants on my property. And I was just thinking, the first 10 years that I was married, we moved 10 times. And this house that we're in now, we've been there for 30 years. So I've lived in this location longer than I've ever lived anywhere in my life.
Wow. I wish I had some violin music to play here as we close the show.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean it as a bad thing.
No. I totally understand. I totally get it. That's why I asked if there's got to be, a lot of plants you can take with you. Others have to stay put.
I've lived there almost as long as Tiger's been born.
Almost as long. Don't you love how you're always the reference?
Yeah.
Tiger's always the reference.
Well, I like to put things in perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching us
show
on Facebook Live. And great questions. Tom Spellman, Dave Wilson, Nursery, thank you. Remember, we're on Facebook every week. Back again next week. And, of course, hour number 1 here in San Diego on AM 1240. And, of course, streaming live around the world and throughout the country on Biz Talk Radio. Want to thank Tom for doing a great job this morning. Our director and studio coordinator, Brandon, Zach, Jeremiah, the rest of the gang. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good week. Be safe and get growing, America.
Listen